Good afternoon. I hope that everyone is happy and healthy and looking forward to spending a little bit of time with Academy of Sound Engineering and more specifically with myself. My name is George Hutton and I am the Marketing and Communications Director for Academy of Sound Engineering. Welcome to my home. We have, under these new circumstances, been led into people's homes, I think more frequently than ever before, at least virtually. And I'm very, very excited to be speaking to you this afternoon for the next little while. This is specifically called an online open day. So it's about finding out information about Academy of Sound Engineering, what we offer, what we do, how we do it, how we've adapted to the restrictions and hurdles that the pandemic has brought us, and how we will be moving on going forward. So please feel free throughout the entire presentation this afternoon to type some questions or comments into the chat, the live chat. I've got it open on the side here, so I'll see if any messages come through. Tido Beats, I can already see your message there, and I'll cover that shortly. So without wasting too much time, I want to give you just a little bit of a history into Academy of Sound Engineering, who we are, what we do, and why we exist. So as the name says, you can see over here, Academy of Sound Engineering, we are a very focused, specialized institution, and we work on the technology of the entertainment industry. We exist out of a need to train people formally in this industry. We started initially many, many years ago in about 1997 through another educational partner, Training in Sound Engineering. That's where the name came from, that's where the history lies, and have been training in sound engineering or audio technology, and more recently even in television and screen media ever since. The Open Day today is focusing on our audio technology and sound engineering qualifications, and we are very excited to be able to bring to you today our new hybrid qualifications. And I'll explain to you what hybrid means a little bit more in a moment. So don't forget to send some comments if I'm explaining something and it's not 100% clear. I'm going to try and be as clear as possible. But I really want to give you an indication of what it is that we do and answer all of your questions that you've come here to this presentation with this afternoon. But hopefully even before you've asked them. So what I'm going to start with is introducing you to our campuses. We have two campuses. We have a Cape Town campus in Zonneblom, and we have a Johannesburg campus in Auckland Park. I've got two short videos that I'm going to share with you now, and I'm going to just interject in between them, talk a little bit more, but we're going to start with a video called Cape Town Virtual Open Day. So this is really what it says on the tin. It's a bit of a tour through the campus facilities, meeting a few of the people, and you're also going to be hearing from Mr. Keith Farquharson, who is the mastermind behind our new hybrid qualifications. So, without further ado, let's have a look at our Cape Town campus Virtual Open Day.
I'm Keith Farquharson, and welcome to the Academy of Sound Engineering. I'm principal of the Cape Town campus, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about who we are. We offer diploma and degree programs designed to provide you with the confidence and the skills that you need in the world of music and technology. Working with our highly experienced lecturers, you will build knowledge and at the same time get the confidence and attitude that you need as an audio professional, whether that is in the field of music production, live sound, or broadcast, being radio, film, or television. Lectures are available throughout the student's journey to provide feedback and mentorship. Our recent switch to online delivery of theory content has meant that students working remotely still have access to their lecturers through regular feedback sessions, in addition to the lectures themselves. When on campus, students can enjoy focused one-on-one time in the studios with their instructors. The studios themselves all contain highly specialized equipment and the latest software platforms.
Hi, my name is Gaston Ralston and I'm one of the lecturers here at ASE Cape Town. I'm a certified Pro Tools instructor and I'll be taking you all the way from Pro Tools 101 to 210p. That means we'll be covering all the concepts required for electronic music production as well as audio post-production. ASE is well suited for music production. They cover many DAW software packages. This includes Pro Tools as well as Ableton Live. They've got many controllers for you to use, which is a great way for you to interact and work on your music creations.
Hi there, my name is Peter Poulsen and I am the Senior Lecturer at ASE Cape Town, responsible for a lot of audio tech lecturing, audio technology, microphone technology, how to operate recording studios, a little bit of mixing in various formats, album mixing and movie soundtrack mixing and advert mixing. So it's a little bit of a mixed bag for me. It's great because it means that I'm not sort of stuck on one subject. I float around and I do various things. And one of the strong suits of ASE Cape Town is the strength of the lecturing team. All the guys are incredibly talented, professional, and involved currently in all aspects of the industry, from going out and actually playing gigs, involved in the making of television programs, album recording, soundtrack recording, sound design, and it is a wealth of experience that gets handed down to the students. So it's, for me, an absolute privilege to be a part of such a strong team and to be able to hand the baton down to the next generation of South African industry superstars.
In partnership with our strong connections in the industry, our approach focuses on giving students real-world experience both on and off campus. Every part of the study program is designed differently, from the academic content and workspaces to your projects and your lecture schedules. This leads to numerous opportunities for students, often before they even graduate.
Welcome back to me. So that was a wonderful little introduction into the inner workings and who you'll find at our Cape Town campus. You heard from Gaston, who's one of the lecturers, and also Mr. Peter Pilson, multi-SAMA award-winning engineer, who's also one of our lecturers there, and like I said, Mr. Keith Farquharson, who is the mastermind behind our hybrid qualifications, which I will be explaining in a little bit more detail after the next video. So let's look at our Johannesburg campus. Johannesburg campus was the first standalone Academy of Sound Engineering campus. We've had hundreds of students through there, wonderful history, situated within and across the road from the SABC, the South African Broadcasting Corporation rather. And let's have a look before I muddle any more of my words. Here's the virtual open day video for our Johannesburg campus. Welcome to Academy of Sound Engineering. My name is George Hutton, and I'm one of the directors here. At the Academy of Sound Engineering, we are so passionate about the entertainment industry, and specifically the technology that makes it all happen. Here at our head campus in Johannesburg, we have facilities that are second to none. As a student, you have access to most of our facilities 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. In our Academy of Sound Engineering faculty, you will have the opportunity to register for a higher certificate or a diploma in audio technology. We focus on turning you into a valuable resource for the industry. That skill that the industry requires is a skill that you're going to learn here. We are very excited to be launching our new hybrid teaching and hybrid learning models. This means you get the best of both. You're here on campus, learning, getting your hands on the equipment, and learning those valuable practical skills. But at the same time, you have the freedom and space of learning from home as well. We have found that our online learning methods give our students more one-on-one time and better communication with our lecturers. And at the end of the day, that means better results.
Hi everybody, my name is Nick Matsoukas and I'm the Head of Music Law, Contracts and Business at Academy of Sound Engineering. If you want to learn how to make money out of the music industry, how the music industry works, what the royalty streams are, how to earn money, where to go and get that money, and why. And if you want to understand the various copyrights, management principles, and contracts, and earning capacities in the music industry, come and join us at the Academy of Sound Engineering. Hope to see you there.
Hi, I'm Tim Kraft, Managing Director of Academy of Sound Engineering. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the industry, the awards you're going to win, the albums you're going to record, the movies that you're going to mix, the live shows that you're going to put on. Nothing gives me greater pleasure than seeing our Academy of Sound Engineering graduates making this industry work.
Find us on our website, www.ase.co.za, or search Academy of Sound Engineering across Facebook and Instagram. Right, and then back to me. So a few questions have come through while those videos were being played, so I thought I'd quickly cover them. First of all, Tido Beats was first with his question, hey, when can I register for 2021? You can register. We are open for registration. Our hybrid learning program starts in basically 2 weeks. The first week of March, we've got orientation, and the classes start the following week. So in answering Esra's question, Esra asks, I need to know more details about the courses, skills needed, registration, time, cost, all of those things. Now, I will be covering that in this presentation, but also in the description of this YouTube video, you'll see a link where you can go and download the hybrid handbook. The hybrid handbook is a document that I'm going to be sharing with you on screen in a moment, but it also has all of the information that you've just asked about. The costs, how it runs, it is all things that we're going to cover in this presentation this afternoon, but you can go and download it and reference it whenever you like at your leisure. So just click on the link below and you'll be able to do that. Then Providence, I'd like to ask if all students are required to be skilled with any musical instruments. Now, you're very specific with that question. Musical instruments? No. Do you have to have some sort of musicality in your bones, in your DNA? Yes, you need to be in love with music. It's a little bit pointless going into the entertainment industry, specifically sound and audio technology, without having an affinity for music, without having a passion and a love for music. It doesn't have to come across as being skilled at an instrument. Many people are, they're rap artists, or they sing, or they play instruments, or whatever the case may be. There's a wonderful phrase that one of our directors, Mr. Nick Matsoukas, has shared with me often. He's South Africa's leading expert on music business, contracts, royalties. He teaches music business and law at Academy of Sound Engineering. And he always says it takes 3 things to be successful in the music industry. It takes talent. Now, you have that or you don't. It takes technical skills, and it takes understanding the music business. Now, 2 of those we're going to take care of. The third one is, how do you describe talent? How do you identify talent? Is your talent connecting with people, connecting with the industry, really having the ability to get your message across and your skill set across? Being able to connect people in a production environment, as you produce different entertainment products. Is your talent just simply being able to sing or rap incredibly well, being able to play an instrument? So what we're doing basically is we're taking you and we're providing an environment for you to make the best out of whatever you bring to the party. You're going to be able to create. You're going to be able to produce, edit, mix, master, distribute, market any type of entertainment product, whether that's in radio or advertising, traditional music production, sound effects and music for film, in audio post-production, live events. When we get them back, we're yearning to go and see our favorite acts and artists back on the stage. So that type of environment as well. Right, so questions are coming through thick and fast. Hi, Andre. Awesome to see you. Andre is a graduate, I think, from about, you're going to have to, maybe 2013, 2014, somewhere around there. Good question. Takunda. Are there any successful artists in the industry that have attended Academy of Sound Engineering? It's a good question, but it's also sort of the wrong question. And I say that with all the respect in the world. An artist is defined by the observer, in my opinion. You observe that which you are looking at or hearing as art, or you don't. So if your question is slightly rephrased into, are there successful producers, people that have started events companies and production companies and working as freelance audio post-production engineers, there's so many different ways that people have found success, but your question is specifically about artists. So there are a few. You won't necessarily know of them. There are some, I'm actually not even going to mention names. There are some very successful hip-hop artists. There's some very successful alternative bands, but they didn't come to Academy of Sound Engineering to improve on their talent and their performance and their ability to put across that creative content. They came to Academy of Sound Engineering for everything else. We do teach you music. We're going to teach you a bit of guitar, a bit of keyboard, music theory, and if you choose music production as your elective, your major, in the diploma, you're going to be able to take that even further into music composition and really understanding how to compose music and prepare it for whatever is the audience that you're trying to aim at. So what we were able to give them was a platform to take their talent and to take their skill set and really make it professional. Understand how to compose, record, edit, mix, master, distribute, market. That's all on the music side. But also the fact that you are interacting with the industry from day one. Everyone who is teaching you, everyone who is with you in class, everyone who is walking the corridors, for example, in the SABC. These might be future employers, future people that you sign a contract with, freelance partners. It's a constant evolution, and you need to be so confident in your skill set and what you can bring to the party that you're never sorry about that. I had a wonderful conversation last year with one of the students that I lecture, one of the classes that I lecture, and they were asking about, should we, as students, as young people getting into the industry, should we be working for free? Should we be, making beats for our friends, just getting in there and doing some work and getting known, and without really expecting any money in return for that? And try and make the money. I mean, if you're still a student, you haven't graduated yet, you don't really have a foot to stand on, but your name isn't free. Anything you do for anyone, your name is attached to that. Your name needs to work for you. Don't go into something and do the work and allow the product or the person that you've worked with to forget that you did that work. Your name needs to work, and they need to work your name for you as well. It's a bit of a hustling industry. You hustle to meet people, to understand different people and how they work and the workflows. But all of that is backed up with your technical knowledge. If you have the technical knowledge, you can speak confidently. If you have the business and legal knowledge, you can speak confidently. And if you combine that with the wonderful creative atmosphere and talent, and music is why we're here. Music is everything. And you combine that, then you've got something that you're passionate about and you're confident in and you can do, and it's a career. And you can really, really get your teeth into that. Right. So, So I see Candy is responding to Takunda's question there. Luazi, you don't have to schedule a physical campus visit to register. Obviously, because of COVID restrictions, we have got everything in place in terms of your procedures and everything in order to do all of that online. Whether it's WhatsApp or a Zoom call or whatever the case may be, it's all there. And speaking of that, also below this video, you'll see the contact details for our Johannesburg and our Cape Town campuses. So there's WhatsApp numbers there's email addresses, and there's the reception telephone numbers. You're welcome to contact any of those numbers and set up some communication. But the form that you fill in, if you click on the link to fill in the form for the hybrid handbook, that's creating you as a contact, and the student advisors will then contact you either later this weekend or early next week to just get in touch with you, figure out where you're at, whether you're interested to register now for 2021 or whether it's something a little bit more into the future, depending on where you're at in your life, how old you are, etc., what your life journey has been so far. So let's move on to the next segment of our presentation this afternoon. Okay, yes. Nkobi, I'm going to answer that now, what the differences are between all of the different qualifications. Thank you very much for that question. Definitely what I'm going to get into in a minute. But before I start, I want to read something that Keith, and you were introduced to Keith a little bit earlier in the Cape Town video, that he emailed me last night. He's the brainchild behind the hybrid program, hybrid being a combination, so synchronous online and on-campus learning. He's the brainchild behind that. And I'm just going to read a little thing that he sent to me last night. Students can enjoy the flexibility of remote learning combined with regular face-to-face practical sessions at either our Johannesburg or Cape Town campus. A fast internet connection, a computer, and our prescribed home study pack will give you a complete studio experience and enable you to fully engage with the lesson content. It'll also prepare you for your on-campus sessions at different times throughout the year. Orientation starts at the beginning of March, and once you're all set up on the technical side, we'll introduce you to your learning management system, or LMS as we call it, where you will find all of your lessons and other academic resources. Students will be guided to log into their profile on the LMS and navigate straight to Hybrid Module 1 content, where the first week of lessons will be available. For every interactive lesson in every subject, there will also be scheduled online sessions with your lecturer. The interactive lessons are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on the LMS, and will need to be completed in advance of these online lecture sessions. During your online lecture sessions, you'll have the opportunity to gain further knowledge, receive feedback on any of your own questions, and interact not only with your instructors, but fellow students as well. In Module 1, your audio fundamentals and song creation, you will learn the basics of how sound works, how to make your first recording. You'll be introduced to music theory and song structure, as well as the various players in the music industry. The perfect way to get you started as an audio content creator. After Module 1 is complete, you'll have your first on-campus block at the start of Module 2, when students get to spend 3 weeks of intensive face-to-face time in the studios and production venues. Our highly experienced lecturers will provide you with the opportunity to gain hands-on experience. Thereafter, students return to remote learning as before, and after Module 2 is complete, they return on campus for another practical block of Module 3, and so on. Students completing Module 3 will either go on to the final Module 4 of the Higher Certificate Program, or jump straight from Module 3 to Module 5 if they are enrolled in the Diploma Program. Students who complete Module 4 and qualify for the Higher Certificate will be able to enter the diploma program by simply completing Module 5. Hybrid learning, highly informative, interactive e-lessons available 24/7, completed in your own time at home. Scheduled daily online sessions with subject matter experts, intensive on-campus practical training blocks throughout the year. Right, so that's from Keith himself. I'm going to share a document with you now. You'll still see me up in the corner. And I'm going to talk you through the qualifications and all of the details that you need. Right. Lupiwe, that's a little bit of a technical question. I don't know exactly what you're asking there, but you can email info@ase.co.za or contact us below or WhatsApp and we'll guide you through that. All right. Hybrid learning. 2020 forced us into completely evolving how we engage with our students as an organization. You've been ready. You, the generation that I'm talking to right now, you've been ready. You've been used to immediate interaction with the content that you're interested in. You've been that immediate satisfaction of being able to communicate with whoever you want, anywhere in the world. You guys have been ready for the evolution of how education works. And I think education in general has been slow to evolve to you. And what the pandemic, one of the positive things, has forced us into is to evolve quickly. So here we are. Yes, this is an incredibly practical industry. You need to get your hands on equipment. You need to get your hands dirty, metaphorically. There's lots of sanitizer available. But you need to get your hands on that equipment and you need to learn how it works and how to utilize it to the best of your ability and its ability to create that media content. But COVID happened and we couldn't bring anyone on campus. So what did we do? We started developing what eventually became this, which we are launching now in March, our hybrid programs. And I'll tell you what, for all of the challenges that there were, and obviously there were a lot of challenges to begin with, the overwhelming end result has been that we've been able to have more interactive sessions with our students. It's been a more personal experience, which sounds weird because you're wherever you live and I'm wherever I live and I'm lecturing. But the way in which the online learning happens gives you this type of immediate feedback. I'm talking to you, I'm reading comments here. I can incorporate that into what I'm busy teaching without you interrupting in a classroom environment. And I've seen from personal experience that the academic results have been significantly improved across the board on average, significantly improved from the previous way of teaching. Now, we can't take away the practical element. You still need that. In fact, it's the whole reason we exist is, we've got all of these facilities that have been available for so long, and the students have been able to book their time, do their projects, work on their exercises, etc. And that all of a sudden went away. Now, thankfully, under the current circumstances, we can bring you onto campus. It's limited numbers, there's procedures and there's restrictions, but we can bring you onto campus. So what do? In the previous model of education, you would just be on campus every day and you'd have a mixture of theory and practical classes, and they would sort of just happen whenever we could schedule them in, and you'd go from one type of class to another type of class. And there wasn't necessarily even always a way of knowing whether this is a practical or a theoretical class, because you're always sitting behind a computer. Or, if you're literally in a studio, then you know this is a practical class. But in this case, when we bring you onto campus for your what we refer to as your on-campus rotation, all you're doing is practical. From whatever it's scheduled at 9 to 6, probably Monday to Friday, for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, that's an incredible amount of hours where you're just doing practical work. And you've taken that interactive lesson that you were able to do in your own time, which then evolved into an interactive online session with a subject matter expert. And now you're on campus and you're putting it into practical use. That's hybrid learning. And that is how our qualifications work. So this document that you're looking at here now is the document that you will get when you click on the link below underneath this video and you complete that form and you download the hybrid handbook. Let's have a look. So on the left, you can see the overview. There's a 1-year higher certificate, a 3-year diploma, and we also have a 3-year Bachelor of Science degree in sound engineering. The certificate and the diploma are in audio technology, and yes, there is a difference between audio technology and sound engineering, the main difference being the word engineering and what comes with that. But now is a good time to actually answer Ngobi's question. What is the difference between the different qualifications? Now, the certificate, which is a 1-year qualification, a National Qualifications Framework Level 5, the certificate gives you the opportunity to get into the industry really quickly. It's very broad. It covers as much as possible within the audio technology industry, and it gets you into that industry quickly, and it really evolves your knowledge and your skill set quickly from someone who has interest and passion into someone who has some skills that can go and apply those skills in a professional environment. The 3-year diploma, which is also in audio technology, gives us more time. So we have the luxury there of saying to you, all right, why don't you specialize? Do the generic learning units, do as much as you can for the first 2 years, or what we refer to now as the first 2 parts of the qualification. And then, once you really have gotten your teeth into it and you have a feeling of the industry and the qualification and how it relates, then you tell us, right, I want to focus now. I want to focus on music production. So I want to go into that creative space. Or I want to focus on radio broadcasting and work in advertising or broadcasting for live events or from any sort of event, or the live radio station environment. Or I want to go into live events, staging, and lights and trussing and sound and everything that goes. It's a very high energy, high adrenaline industry and everything that goes into that. Or maybe you want to specialize in audio post-production, which is the sound effects and voice and music for visual products, for video, for film. That's the luxury that the diploma gives us. It's longer, we have more time, we can get more in depth, and we can give you the opportunity to specialize in something that you're really passionate about. So that's a 3-part qualification, or in old terminology, 3-year qualification. You'll understand now why I'm referring to it as parts. And the journey that you see on the right-hand side of the screen is specifically around our diploma and our certificate. So you'll see that module 1, 2, and 3 are shared by the certificate and the diploma in audio technology. And if you do module 4, you have completed the higher certificate, you have an NQF 5 qualification, and then you've got options. You can do module 5, which completes part 1 of the diploma, which means you can move on to part 2. Or if your journey started and your intention was to do the diploma from the start, you would do module 1, 2, 3, skip module 4 and do module 5 so that you've completed part 1. Now, why am I saying part 1 and not year 1? It's the same thing, but you have a little bit more freedom here. You get to an extent, you get to dictate the time it takes, the journey that you're on. You're registering a module at a time. You're going through this journey, and you have access to us throughout the entire process. So there's so much guidance and nurturing that'll be happening that you'll always feel like you have the support you need in order to make the correct next decision. So now let's talk about the BSc. So finishing the question that was asked. So the Bachelor of Science degree, the first difference is its name is sound engineering, not audio technology. So if we look at technology, if we look at equipment, and we use that as sort of a divider, this isn't a pure accurate analogy, but it should be able to explain it to you well enough. An audio technician takes equipment and uses the equipment, utilizing it, creating. That's the big word, is creating media products, entertainment products, utilizing equipment and your skill set and your talent and your ear and everything that goes with that. An engineer, someone who's done the Bachelor of Science degree, it doesn't mean that they don't love music. Again, all of the equipment you're working on is for the audio world. But someone who's gone into the Bachelor of Science degree is looking at the equipment and going, technology is evolving. Can I make this better? Can I make it faster? Can I make it smaller? Can I make it cheaper? Can I make it more versatile for the technicians that are going to be using it? And I can myself also use it. So the BSc, first of all, it has a higher entrance requirements. You must have done mathematics at high school and gotten at least 60%. There's more details that you'll need to go through with your student advisor one-on-one. The type of details I can't cover because it doesn't apply to everyone. It really depends on what subject you did at school, etc. The diploma and the higher certificate, the entrance requirements there only kick in at module 2 when there are specific higher education entrance requirements. For example, you need a diploma endorsement to do the diploma. You would need a higher certificate endorsement. There's some English requirements as well. But for module 1, which is the first 8 weeks, as you can see there, for module 1, there aren't any requirements. You need to be 16 years old. You need to have a nice high-speed internet connection at home. You need to be able to purchase the home study pack, enroll into the program, and you can do module 1. So this means even if you're in matric, you can do this. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. It's 8 weeks online. You can complete this, and then you've got a skills program, a standalone skills program called Audio Fundamentals and Song Creation, which is a wonderful thing to have on your CV. It's a talking point for any conversation. And you know what? It's also the start of a journey into a formal education in entertainment technology. So the BSc, coming back to the BSc, we're looking at things like mathematics and physics and electronics, far more than we do in the diploma and the higher certificate. We also look at things like acoustical engineering, equipment design, programming plugins, for example, for digital audio workstations like Pro Tools. So it's more of an engineering qualification. It's obviously an engineering qualification, but it focuses more on the design and the equipment, whereas the diploma and the higher certificate focus on the technology and the equipment and the use of it from a creative perspective. So I think, Ngobi, that should answer your question, and we can move on to the next slide here. So this is an overview of your journey of part 1 or of the diploma or of the higher certificate to its conclusion. This goes, you might want to actually spend a little bit of time going over this particular slide. If you go download the book, the handbook in the link below, it breaks down each module into its core components, into the learning units that you do. You really can read this and go, wow, I can see exactly what's going to happen in module 1, what sort of learning units I'm going to be experiencing, what sort of work I'm going to be doing. And then in module 2, 3, 4 if I'm finishing the higher certificate, 5 if I'm finishing part 1 of the diploma. It's really a lovely informative. I mean, you might not know what some of these learning units are going to be doing, but at least you know they're there and you get an idea of what's going to be in them. Then there's also an introductory paragraph regarding the Bachelor of Science degree and how, in its unique needs and requirements, it is more of an organic beast where we do have fewer students that actually make it into the BSc, straight into the BSc as first year students because of the entrance requirements. We have other students that use the higher certificate or the diploma to gain access into the BSc later on, and they actually articulate into it. That's another way. And other people have no interest in it because they're not really interested in that side of the industry. They're far more interested in the creative side. And if that is what you're interested in, if that is where your passion lies, then the diploma is really the qualification that is going to give you the most satisfaction. But you know what? It's a 3-part journey or a 3-year journey. So there's much time to make decisions about what is going to happen afterwards. So feel free to go download the handbook and have a look at this page. Then we get to fees. Now this is a contentious subject. Academy of Sound Engineering is a private higher education institution. But I know, from having been in this industry for more than 20 years, that we have made some incredible strides for 2021, for this next intake, this next module that starts in March. Now, historically, our higher education fees per year have, they increase inflationary every year. And if you look at higher education fees, private higher education fees across the board in our industry as well as other industries, you'd be hard pressed to find private higher education tuition fees that aren't between about 80 to 100,000 Rand a year or above. Now, what have we done? We've evolved. We've looked at this hybrid program. We've seen that there are some savings for us as an institution in delivering this hybrid program. And we've taken those savings and we've passed them on to you. So where our fees in 2020 were 79,950, so let's just call it 80,000 Rand. For the diploma in 2021, that's 69,800. The higher certificate was 69, or let's call it 70 in 2020 and 63,800 now in 2021. So there's a significant reduction. And if you are able to settle the fees up front for all of the modules, then you get an even further discount. So really let that sink in. I mean, expense is relative. You can or you can't afford it. That's your personal situation, and this might be out of your realm, or it might be well within your financial reach. But what I'm really trying to focus on here is you're looking at the evolution of education, where the student is far more engaged and involved in their own educational experience. It doesn't come at the price tag that it used to, but it requires a little bit more from the student to really get started and get into it. So that's where the next bit comes in, which is the ASE Home Study Pack. Now, here's something. Normally, if you come and study with us, you have your fees, which I've just gone through, but then on top of that, you would need to pay for textbooks and your project packs. And for the first time ever, for our March intake only, the March intake starting in a couple of weeks from now, we are absorbing those costs. You will not pay for your textbooks, you will not pay for your project packs. All you will pay for is your accreditation and exam fees for your Avid Pro Tools, which gives you international accreditation. That's $30 if you're doing the higher certificate and $60 if you're doing the diploma. And we've already negotiated a discount on that for you to bring it down to those prices. But the textbooks and the project packs, no charge to you. You will, however, need to purchase a home study pack. So a home study pack comprises of basically the equipment that you see here in front of you. A MIDI controller, an interface, microphone, pop filter, that sort of stuff. We've made that incredibly simple for you. There's a home study pack bundle which you can purchase. I'll go and edit the description on this video in a moment when we're done, and I'll put the link for that. We also have negotiated some incredibly good discounts on laptops, because you do need a laptop or a computer to be able to work on. There are minimum requirements. You can see them on this document here, what the minimum requirements are for the computer. And through our very good friends at Cloudways, there are some really prices you will not get in the retail environment. But it also comes with after-sales service from Cloudways and really looking after you there. So the home study pack, there's huge discounts that we've negotiated through the suppliers and are available through an online partner of ours called Bounce Online. And they'll deliver it directly to you. And the laptop is also there for you to work through. You need a nice fast internet connection. You need about 30 gigs of data a month to be able to do that from home for the stuff that you are doing remotely. And remember, you have this equipment. We're not going to take it away. When you're done with part 1, you're going to use it in part 2. You don't have to buy it again. You're going to use it in part 3. You're going to use it when you're finished. And you're starting to create content for clients. This is an investment. And we've really gone out of our way to make this as accessible and as relevant and appropriate for you as what any education provider could possibly be doing right now. So again, this document is available for you to download in the link below in the description. How do you apply? You contact us. You make contact first. We have application interviews. Don't let that sound daunting. An interview, it's more about you interviewing us than us interviewing you. You make contact with one of our student advisors. I mean, you can go and chat to the live chat on our website. You can go to our social media, chat to us there. There's so many different ways to start the conversation, but start the conversation. You can then book an interview for yourself. We'll send you an interview booking link, and all of the wheels have then started. Right? There are some documents you'll have to prepare. That's all here in step 2. This document is available for you right now to download, and that's pretty much all you need to know. Okay, so I'm going to come back to me. Sorry, there was a little glitch there. I might have burst your eardrums for a moment. And I'm just going to wrap up. I've really enjoyed chatting to you this afternoon. I can see Naledi. Let me just quickly say what Naledi was talking about. Cool. All right. So Naledi, you've got a whole bunch of questions. It seems like you're already going to be starting with us. A big part of orientation is helping you set up the equipment, and also that's part of the learning. You know, week 1, let's get that gear set up. How are you going to be utilizing it? And if you've got any more questions, get in touch with your student advisor and talk through that before we start with orientation. So, can you still register? Yes. These opportunities for our March intake won't happen again. We understand that it's difficult at the moment. People are finding it difficult to make decisions about long-term commitments. You're registering a module at a time. The commitments aren't what they used to be. We understand you need that flexibility. We've made it as accessible as we possibly can financially. We've absorbed a lot of the costs, and here you are now at the door, about to knock on the door of what is possibly entering into the first step of your journey into being a professional in the content creation, audio technology, sound engineering world. And content creation is so important. You're viewing content right here, and it's going to be available for you to view when we're done. You can go back and watch it again. I'm not a technician. Someone else could have possibly put together a much better presentation than what I have done here this afternoon. I'm just a marketer, and quite frankly, I'm a musician. I'm the person on that side of the microphone. That was my training and my history and where my passion lies. So I'm so glad that I'm involved in being able to tutor and mentor young people that want to go and create the next big thing in music, the next big thing in content. Content is king. And essentially what we are is an institution that teaches you to go and create that content that is going to change the next person's mind, experience, life, whatever you want. So, I mean, I could literally go on for another hour, but I'm not going to, because I think you've used enough of your data, and I'm so glad that so many of you were able to engage with me this afternoon. Thank you so much to everyone that asked questions, Naledi, Nkobi, Unity, Lupiwe, Takunda, Candy, Lwazi, Andre, thank you for joining us, and everyone else. It's just been a wonderful afternoon with you. I've enjoyed it, and I hope you did too. And you have everything you need to take that next step right here in the comments below this video. Don't waste time. Don't go there now. Fill in the form, get the handbook so you can really study it, and get in touch with us as soon as you can. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you again soon. Cheers.